Welcome into 351 Sports. I'm Ezra Janello, and we've got a great episode for you today. We're going to start off with some QB talk in the National Football League, a look into the fresh new college basketball season, a Franklin Pierce student-athlete spotlight, and of course, some gambling talk to end the show. But first, I'm sitting here with Pat Mullern of the Franklin Pierce men's lacrosse team. And Pat, as an athlete at the Division II level, what are we looking like heading into 2021 and athletics?
You know, here at Franklin Pierce, we're not too sure what it's going to look like heading into the winter and into the spring season. We have a lot of cases in the U.S. rising, and we're just looking hopeful, and the debate is still going on like it was during the football season.
And the hope is to be playing by the spring. Obviously, you guys, you're an outdoor sport, so it's kind of hard with the snow, but playing in the snow, it's not out of the ordinary for lacrosse teams in New Hampshire.
Yeah, definitely not. We've definitely had our fair share of shoveling off the field and doing anything we can to get out there to play a little bit. So nothing new to us, and we're going to do everything we can.
The look to play sports in 2021 is looking optimistic at the college level. But when we come back, we're diving into the world of NFL quarterbacks and who takes the cake for the best QB in the NFL right now. Welcome back to 351 Sports. The NFL, we saw a shift in the past from running to passing, and now we're seeing another shift back to running, but this time in a complex way with QBs and the need for mobile QBs and the guys that can make things happen behind the line of scrimmage. Today on the show, we've got Ian Maluski and Jake Mott to give us their takes as to who the best QB is right now in the NFL. Jake, Ian, how's it going, guys?
Going pretty good, can't complain.
Good, Ezra. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty dandy, but we're going to get right down to business. Jake, who do you feel is the best QB in the NFL right now?
The best quarterback in football right now is Russell Wilson.
Oh, jeez.
It's because context and consistency, and that's what it's all about. He's always been extremely consistent. He wins 68% of his games. He's never missed a start, and he completes 65% of his passes with a 3.45 touchdown interception ratio. The difference is context. This year, we're seeing Russ allowed to cook with the offense, and he's got a real-time receiver in DK Metcalf. Now we've seen those percentage numbers go up, and we've seen those pick numbers stay right over 3.
So you're willing to say that Russell Wilson, up until now, his first 8 years in the league, he's been, I guess, okay. I mean, I'm just going to put in that context. Yes, he went to a Super Bowl. Yes,
I think he's been dangerous.
You think he's been dangerous? Okay, that's one word to put it. Yeah, I guess Russell Wilson, in a way, he can extend the play. He can be dangerous. He can find open receivers. He can run with the ball, and that's huge, especially in the NFL nowadays. But I think we have to compare it to how long these two have been in the league. And I think, honestly, Patrick Mahomes, right now, just because of his sheer talent alone, his firepower, he's called Mr. Showtime for a reason. This man can do what he wants, when he wants. And, I mean, the sheer talent he has is, yes, it's a little bit unfair with Russell Wilson. I mean, he has Tyreek Hill, he has Hardman, he has Travis Kelce. He has already a pretty good backfield. But I think the two weaknesses for these two teams is probably their defense. Seattle definitely more so. But right now, I think Patrick Mahomes, with all the weapons that he has in the game right now, makes him the deadliest QB right now.
Well, there's one determining factor that we see, right? Tom Brady, his big 20-year stint in Boston and New England. Well, if these two teams met in the Super Bowl and played one game, which could happen, right? Wilson sitting 6-3 with the Seahawks, Mahomes atop his division at 8-1. If these two teams met in the Super Bowl, who would win? Ian, go ahead.
If these two teams met, and right now that is a huge if, because Seattle, as you said, they're 6-3, but more importantly, in their last 4, they're 1-3, and Russell Wilson hasn't been looking dangerous, as you
know
put
it ain't Russell Wilson, Ian. That's that Seattle defense. You know that.
Are you kidding me? He has 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and that is the name of the game right there. Is I feel like every NFL team at the end of a game goes, did we protect the football? And in most cases, 99% of the time, the Kansas City Chiefs win that argument. Patrick Mahomes this year with 25 touchdowns and 1 interception alone, and currently on pace for 44 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Now, I'm not just making that up. I checked twice. I checked multiple areas. He is on pace to be yet another MVP in this league. And so if these two met in the Super Bowl, And like I said, Seattle's defense looking a little suspect along with Kansas City's, but they're a little bit better. They're getting better. They're getting there. But if these two teams met, I think it's Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs going back-to-back, and definitely Patrick Mahomes would add another MVP and Super Bowl there.
All right. Well, I can't complain with that take because Seattle's defense is extremely suspect. So for that reason, I would take the Chiefs to win the game. But in terms of who we would see as the more dominant quarterback in that football game, I think we'd see Russell Wilson.
Are you kidding me?
I
You think it's Russell Wilson really to have the most dominant game? I mean, if we're looking at those two offenses alone right now, I mean, you'd have to agree that Patrick Mahomes has more talent. I think he is more talented than Russell Wilson right now. There, I said it. I'm going to say it again. Patrick Mahomes is more talented than Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson is going to wow you with his mind. Mahomes can wow you with his arm. He can wow you with his athletic ability. But when you want a general, when you want somebody on there who's going to lead your team to a victory and knows what your team needs,
It's Patrick Mahomes.
that man's Russell Wilson. That man is Russell Wilson.
Whatever. That's all the time we have for this segment here on Who is the Best QP in the League. We'll bring it back to Ezra.
Guys, thanks so much. There's so many different factors when talking about QBs. It's almost an impossible thing to decide who's the best one in the league right now. Although I'll tell you what, Kyler Murray is looking real good on my fantasy team right now.
He's looking good on mine, too.
But either way, we're going to send it over to Nathan Taylor and a Franklin Pierce Student Spotlight, the goalie on the men's lacrosse team, and his life in Rinch.
What's up? My name is Nathan Taylor, number 3 on the men's lacrosse team, and this is a day in the life with the Franklin Pierce athlete. Here we go.
Alright guys, finished the run, 30 minutes, whole team. This is the second half, we started at 8 o'clock. We're about to go back. I'm going to shower, I have a class to attend at 9 o'clock, then I got to take an exam at 10. After that it's lunch, make sure we're getting our protein shake, doing a lot of homework, and then we're going to try and bring you guys down to get some extra reps at the field, so we'll see you there. Good morning. I got back from class pretty early and gonna make some breakfast. So I got some chicken sausage, gonna make 8 to 10 eggs, and I got some hash browns in the toaster oven. So we got 4 men, we gotta feed them. And food's like a huge part of being an athlete here. You gotta make sure you're eating enough to keep up with how much you're training, you're running, burning a lot of energy, you need to keep up with it to replenish yourself. So got a huge breakfast coming up. And now we wait. Just finished breakfast. I'm about to eat some of that. I need to get some carbs, some protein in me. Drinking a little bit of coffee. Just checking out what I have to do today for homework. I got a little bit of history. Got some CJ classes, and then I got I wanted to look up a little nutrition for my next semester's classes. See what's happening with those. But other than that, I just got to do this exam and I'll be ready to go shoot. Show you guys some saves.
Yeah, but aren't these hours going out?
Hey, I didn't see that. We're working on our oceans exam right now.
So
Definitely shooting for those upper
it's
those upper
the
90s. We got
northern
Natalie here.
and southern hemisphere.
A+ students, all of us. Hey guys, what's up? I just finished my exam, got an 86. Not the upper 90s like expected, but still gonna be running around trying to get a few things done around here. So I'm gonna drink a quick protein shake and some peanut butter crackers, and then I'm gonna power clean. What's up, guys? We're about to go down to the field, take some shots, get some shots. See how it goes. Catch you there. Hey guys, what's up? We just got done with our shooting reps. We don't practice as a team anymore in the fall. We're strictly conditioning now until we go back for break. But we're just getting as much training as we can now with the field, with the new field that we have, the nets, being together, balls. Like, we have the opportunities, we have to take them to get better, to get our time in. So right now, I just got some shots from the boys, played a few games. I'm gonna do some goalie drills, get the agility going, get the legs pumping, really get the reaction time down. So get you some clips on those. Here we go. Legs are on fire. Oh, I mean, 3,221, 3,222. All right, that's it for the lifts today, guys. Gonna head back to the tower, get some stuff done, and catch you guys there. See you later. Bottoms up. In my free time, I like to get a few games of Call of Duty in there. Just zone out from everything else, get a little bit of video games in there. Good stress reliever.
Today, Brendan, Mannon, and I will be talking about college basketball, and we're going to start off by talking about who we think is going to be the best team in college basketball next season. Me personally, I think it's going to be Texas Tech. Texas Tech did an excellent job not only recruiting, but also picking up players from the transfer portal to help fill out their roster. To start off, they were able to recruit 5-star point guard Nimiri Burnett. Burnett is an excellent shooter and also does a great job finishing at the rack, and he does an excellent job too scoring over bigger defenders. Alongside him is going to be junior Kyler Edwards. He's one of the more experienced players on the roster, and he's going to look to lead the team on the offensive and defensive ends of the court. In the front court, they have sophomore Terrence Shannon Jr. and 2 transfer students, Gerald Natembe and Marcus Santos Silva, and they are going to look to wreak havoc on the interior and bring a lot to the offensive side of the court. The starting lineup for this team is big, they have a lot of length, and they're very athletic, plus most of them have a nice shooting touch so they can spread the floor as well. And one of the big things about this team that's going to make them good next year is their depth. They've got transfer Mac McClung, who's going to provide a huge offensive spark off the bench, which is something they needed last year. And they're going to bring back sophomore Kevin McCullough and junior Avery Benson, who are both players that hustle a lot and play excellent defense. Additionally, they've got 2 good big men in 6'10" JUCO transfer Isaiah Nawe and 7-foot-tall freshman Vladislav Gordon. These players are going to be really good for them, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next season.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, but I'm rolling with Gonzaga. I'm rolling with Mark Few and the Bulldogs, mainly because they're bringing back 3 players who withdrew from the draft. We got Joel Ayayi, who averaged 11 points and 6 rebounds a game, Corey Kispert, who averaged 14 points a game, that's massive, and Philip Petrus, who's averaging 18 and 8 boards, that's pretty incredible. And you add a top 5 player from last year's ESPN recruiting class, and Jalen Suggs, and I don't know if you've seen this kid's mixtape. He's pretty good. He kind of gives me those Damian Lillard vibes. He can really create his own shot. He's also kind of sneaky athletic. I've seen a lot of backboard rebounds and stuff like that, but I think Mark Few has a really good squad this year. They're 10 to 1 odds right now at CBS, so I really like them to take it home this year.
Definitely one of the top teams next year. And then next we're going to be talking about who we think our favorite player, who's going to be the best player next year. Now for me, I think it's going to be Cade Cunningham. And since 2000, there have only been 3 freshman players to win the Naismith Player of the Year award. Those have been Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and Zion Williamson.
It's a pretty good list.
I think soon we're going to be able to add Cade Cunningham. He stands 6'7", so he towers over your typical point guard. And he's just so good offensively. You put a forward on him, he's going to run right by him. You put a guard on him, he's too big. He's going to get right to the paint. And what really is great about him, though, is his playmaking. He has an incredible court awareness for someone his age. And not only that, but he has an excellent touch on his bounce passes. He throws beautiful bounce passes. So this means that in the pick and roll setting, he's going to abuse that all game long, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And additionally, his jump shot isn't exactly a knockdown jump shot, but he has excellent mechanics and a quick release, which means I'm sure he's going to be able to translate that to the college level. And lastly is his defense. Now, not only is he 6'7", he also has a 7-foot wingspan. So he's got long arms. He's able to get in the passing lane. He plays excellent defense. He keeps his hands down, uses his body. And I think he's going to be an excellent defender as well. And playing for Oklahoma State, that means that it's going to be his team. He's going to be the leader on that team. He's going to be the best player. And I think by the end of the season, we're going to look at him as the best point guard in college basketball.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with you. He's going to be a great player. I have a better player, though. Another 6'7" guard going to Kentucky, and Terrence Clark. This kid is explosive. I was watching a recruiting video today that said he might be the most NBA-ready prospect Kentucky has ever seen. Kind of a bold statement, but I like it. Last year, he played at local Brewster High School Academy, and he averaged 19 points per game, 6 assists, and 3 boards. I mean, he's one of the best, most explosive guards definitely in this class. He's definitely going to be a lottery pick if he keeps up playing like the way he does. My NBA comparison for him would be kind of a mix of like a John Wall and Jaylen Brown. The way he's athletic and can create shots off of his athleticism for other people, that kind of reminds me of John Wall, especially when he was at Kentucky and not hurt. And then he has that Jaylen Brown aspect where he is a sneaky good shooter. He has some very good range, so you have to respect his shot so he can get by you and drive to the hoop easier. So I'm definitely looking forward to watch Terrence Clark and the Kentucky Wildcats next year.
Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about today is going to be the conferences and which team we think will win the respective conference. To start off, we're going to talk about the ACC. I have Virginia winning the ACC because although Duke is a good team, I think experience beats youth.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and they're bringing back a big core of that team.
Next up is American. I'm going to pick SMU just because last year they struggled, but it was mainly due to transfer and injury issues. They'll be good this year.
I have the Houston Cougars based off of experience.
Next up is the Big East. I got Villanova because Memphis is good, but I think Villanova is still better.
I don't think you can pick any other team except for Villanova. That's the only team you can't pick.
Next up is the Big Ten. I got Rutgers. I'm a little biased because their point guard went to Londonderry, which is my mom's alma mater.
I'm rolling with Iowa straight off because of Luke Garza.
Next up is the Big 12. Got to go Texas Tech. I just talked about them for a full minute. Beast of a team.
I'm rolling with Baylor.
Next up is the Pac-12. Got to go Oregon. They have a core of returning players. They're going to be good next year.
I agree with that pick.
Next up is the SEC. I'm going to pick Kentucky because even though they're a young team, if they can mesh together, they're going to be the best team in college basketball.
Completely agree. Terrence Clark is going to carry that team very far away in the March Madness tournament.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to bounce it over to Ezra Janello as he sends us to the next segment.
Thanks, Brandon. We're going to see Manning again in just a second with Sean Anzalone for the Casino Dwelling Gamblers Gambling Corner.
Do you like making money? Well, you're watching the right segment. Whether you like to gamble on NCAA, NFL, UFC, Chinese basketball, or Russian hockey, we've got a play for you. I'm joined with my partner, Sean Anzalone. Sean, how was the gambling weekend for you?
Surprisingly, not that well, but we rebounded, got off to a good start for this week with Monday Night Football last night.
There we go. Bad weekend, good Monday. Don't hear about that often.
We made some money off of Kirk Cousins and Nick Foles each throwing an interception, so
that was a bet?
Couldn't make easier money.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
So let's just get into the college football Week 12 action. We're starting off tonight, Tuesday night action with the Maction slate. So we got 2-0 Buffalo going up against 0-2 Bowling Green, and then 2-0 Kent State going up against 0-2 Akron. So in the parlay tonight, I'm going to roll with both the favorites and the spreads. So we got Buffalo minus 32 and the over of 58, and then we got Kent State minus 25.5 and the under of 59. So the Kent State defense is really good. I like them to hold Akron under 20 points, so that under should hit. Plus 1,200 odds, 5 to make 65. So we're going to start small, and then we're going to go big this weekend. So this weekend with the ACC parlay, we're going to go Florida State getting 34.5 points at home against Clemson. I think that's too much for them to not cover. We got Wake Forest minus 4.5 on the road against Duke. Virginia Tech minus 3.5 at Pitt. Virginia Tech's had 2 tough losses in a row, so I like them to rebound with a win. Then Virginia is minus 39.5, but they're playing Abilene Christian, so I think they get kicked out of the ACC if they lose, so I'm going to take them. And then Liberty is ranked, and they're getting 3.5 points at NC State. And Liberty's undefeated. They're on fire, so I'm taking them. That's 5 to make 135 plus 2,600 odds. So
Some good money.
Big time Saturday coming up. And then before I hand it off to you for some NFL picks, we're going to talk about the Heisman odds real quick. So the top 5 contenders for the Heisman, we got Trevor Lawrence at plus 200, Justin Fields and Kyle Trask, Florida QB, followed at plus 250, and then Mac Jones, who I personally like, at plus 300, and then you have the long shot BYU QB Zach Wilson at plus 2,500. So I think the best bet here, best value, is Mac Jones at plus 300. Lawrence, I would have taken him, but he missed a couple of games, especially the Notre Dame game. I think that really hurts him. He's not going to have another chance to really prove himself against an elite team, so I think he's kind of out of the race at this point, even though he's still the favorite. I think he's going to get jumped potentially by Justin Fields this week. He has a huge matchup against top 10 Indiana. That's big matchup this weekend in the Big Ten. So I think his odds are really good right now at plus 250. They're going to go way up after this weekend. So I'm rolling with Mac Jones because he's beaten quality opponents all year long. Bama always has a tough schedule, and they've actually beaten all the ranked teams that they've played so far, and they still have a big Iron Bowl matchup with Auburn. It's going to give them another big win. More big wins than Kyle Trask has and Justin Fields. So I think if you can get Mac Jones right now plus 300, that's going to be your best bet for the Heisman. I'm going to throw $10 on him to make 40, and that's about it for me. Manning, how about the NFL? What does that look like this weekend?
So for my NFL parlay, we got some big action here. You want to turn $5 into 156? You listen right here. First off, the matchup, we got the Bengals versus the Washington football team. I know the Bengals are coming off a rough loss against a really good Steelers team, so don't let that scare you. Bet the Bengals, big-time winners. Next up, we got the Texans over the Patriots. Do not let that Patriot... You hate that? That's unbelievable, because this Patriots team is not that good. Don't let that Sunday night win over the Ravens fool you. That was more so of the weather than it was Bill Belichick, unless Bill Belichick controls the weather. Next up, Titans over the Ravens. We got the Ravens losing back-to-back weeks. We saw what happened last year in the divisional playoffs. That was big, heavy favorite for the Ravens. No one cashed out on that ticket. I'm rolling with the Titans again this weekend. Next up, Packers over the Colts. Do not let this Colts team fool you again.
Absolutely.
This Packers team is dogs. Whenever the Packers are underdogs, you take it. That's how you make money. KHL play. This is my favorite. If you're feeling lucky, you really want to hop on this one. Russian hockey. Don't know any of the teams, don't know any of the players, but here we go. We got 2 dogs and 1 favorite. First team, Taktor Chelyabinsk. I don't know who they're playing, but they're an underdog. Then we got Seversteel Chirapovets. You say that twice for me fast, and I'll give you money. That's how you win that bet. And then the third team, these are the favorites, minus 1,400, Jokerit. Like I said, I don't know who's playing, but that's the lucky parlay we're going with.
Sometimes you just got to roll. I won a KHL bet earlier this year myself. So
you wake up at 8 a.m. and you have a bet already in from 4:30, and it wins.
If you're feeling lucky, just let it roll.
Exactly.
I agree. I like it.
Thank you for watching this segment of The Gamblers. Hopefully we've won you some money this weekend. And go Ravens.
Big thanks to the casino-dwelling gamblers, Brendan and Sean, for giving us their picks for the week. I might have to hop onto the KHL Moneyline train. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for a look into the NBA draft and all the craziness associated with the offseason. On behalf of the entire cast and crew, thanks for watching. This is 351 Sports.